Hi everybody, it's Friday, May 24th, and we are at the end of the first learning module. And in this brief video, I would like to summarize my general impressions of how we did in this first module, including our performance in the discussion forum posts and in the comments, and also what I think we learned in this first module and what I think we need to do better or differently in the second learning module. One thing that I'd like to begin with is by saying that, clearly it is very hard, if not impossible, to just define the term business writing quite so easily. So I want to say that I don't expect everybody to have, or anybody actually for that matter, to have a very concise and clear definition of business writing at this point, regardless of all the readings and discussions we did. What I'm hoping that is happening, or that has happened for you, is that you're beginning to see how complex and complicated this field and this term actually is, and that you're moving away a little bit from just thinking about business writing in terms of forms, in terms of emails, reports, memos, those kinds of things, and you're beginning to think about business writing, business communication in more rhetorical, more situational, more complex, contextualized ways. So that's my hope, and I think the discussion posts by and large confirm that most of us, if not all of us, have begun thinking about the field of business writing in those kinds of ways. So that's very good. I would also like to point out that as we move on to the second learning module, we will move away from trying to define the field, trying to delineate business writing from other kinds of writing, and move into looking at business writing as a very contextualized, very situated, very organization-based practice. I will say more about that in my video introduction to the second learning module, which I invite you to watch shortly. But I just wanted to make sure that we understand the direction of this course. We're moving away from trying to define the field of business writing into assuming and agreeing to see it as a kind of a contextualized, localized, organization-based activity, and that's what the second module is going to largely provide us with. At this point, I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to ask you to watch a little recorded presentation that I made immediately after this segment of the video, in which I summarize briefly what I thought we did well with discussion posts in the first module, and where I offer you advice on how to improve your discussion posts in the second learning module. And as always, if you have any questions about any of this, or if you're not clear about my advice, or if you have any questions about how you did on the discussion post or other assignments, please let me know immediately. I will be very happy to help you understand. Okay, so watch the presentation and listen to the presentation, and let me know what you think. And then after that, head over to the second learning module and begin it by looking at the brief introductory video that I will have posted there. Thanks a lot, and again, I look forward to working with you in the weeks to come. Bye-bye. So first, what we did well in the discussion posts during the first module. I think all of us were interested in the discussion topics and in the readings, and the interest and the enthusiasm clearly showed in the discussion posts. I also think that most of you asked very good questions about the readings when such questions were called upon. And then finally, you showed some evolution in your thinking about the term business writing. Again, I have to emphasize that I'm not expecting everybody to sort of achieve some kind of conversion from one way of thinking about business writing to another over this unit, or even over the course of the semester. But obviously, we do need to re-examine some of the assumptions about business writing that we may have come into this class with, in order to see them differently. So I think we're doing well there. And then finally, I'd like to suggest a couple of important, very important changes that I'd like to see most of you, if not all of you, make in the second module when it comes to discussion forum postings. One thing that I was not entirely happy about is the tendency for most members of the class to shy away from the difficult readings. For instance, in the discussion post where you had to read Carrie Dirk's essay about genre, and then a very complicated academic essay about genre, and then watch a little Seinfeld clip, most of you chose to explicitly discuss the easier portions of that reading, which is a problem. For one, I don't know if you've read the more difficult assignment, and the second problem with this is that, in order to advance our thinking about business writing and make it more sophisticated and more academic, we need to address all the readings that are being assigned. So in the future, I'd like you to more explicitly and specifically address the difficult readings that I'm assigning, not just go for the easier ones. And as I've said before, if you don't understand something in a difficult reading, that's okay. But what you need to do is to say, okay, here's a topic that I'm not quite grasping yet, and here's what I'm thinking about it. Here's my kind of process of trying to figure it out. Here are my questions. In other words, being tentative and being questioning and being unsure of things is quite all right. But I do need to see a discussion of more complicated readings in your posts, because as we move along, the readings are only going to get more and more complicated, and you cannot just stay with the things that you're comfortable with all the time. The second suggestion here is that I'd like to see more explicit discussion of specific readings in your discussion posts. For example, in the reflection post for the first module, the prompt explicitly asks you to refer to specific readings from this module in order to make your case. Some of you did that, and some of you completely did not do that. There were several posts in which the authors simply say, well, I used to think about business writing one way, now I'm thinking about it this other way. Well, that's fine, but what is your evidence? What is your basis on which you have made these changes in your thinking? These readings are supposed to provide you with such evidence. They're supposed to provide you with such basis for your evolution in this topic and for your ability to see this topic differently. So I'd like to see more specific, more concrete, and more deliberate discussion of specific readings in posts. Now, you don't need to cite them formally using a citation system, for example, but you do need to make references to those posts in meaningful ways. And then my final suggestion at this point is that while I do like your personal examples, and I think they bring a lot into the discussion, try not to base your whole posts on just personal examples, however valuable they might be. So I would advise kind of aiming for a combination of an analysis of the assigned readings with some personal examples, some personal experiences, but certainly do not make the whole post based just on your experience, just on your personal evidence. That is not the kind of thinking that we need in this class. That is not the kind of thinking that professionals do. Again, your readings are your evidence, your basis for making the kinds of conclusions that you're making. So I hope these are clear, and if you have any questions about any of these suggestions, please let me know. I look forward to reading more of your discussion posts and responding to them in the weeks to come. Thank you very much.